Good morning, Madison. How are you?
Good morning. I'm wonderful. Thank you.
Wonderful. So why don't you go ahead and tell me something interesting about yourself?
Okay, well, a personal project passion of mine is to create sculptures out of found or trash items as well as natural items. And I like to create them for environmental education purposes. I firmly believe that art is a really great form of communicating, especially when it comes to science. I think that they're very connected. And a really wonderful project that I got to work on for my previous organization that I worked with is with cigarettes. So I collected cigarettes off of the ground in one specific part of our downtown for about a month. And then with those cigarettes, I created 5 to 6, I think it was 6, sculptures of different animals that utilize our watersheds. And so I created those with the cigarette butts, and then we spread them around to different environmental nonprofits in the area to use for educational purposes.
Yeah. In your opinion, what type of position best suits you?
I'm a people person at heart, so a little cliche, but I really strongly believe that creating interpersonal relationships are a key way to making things work. So I think that I've got that down pat.
Okay. Please discuss your education degree or any special training or classes you have recently taken.
So I am a recent grad from Humboldt State University in Arcata, California, where I received my BS in Environmental Science and Management with an emphasis in ecological restoration. So I have a little bit of a broad science and just general background. Some classes that I took for reference are like biostatistics, GIS, and grant writing. So variation throughout.
Okay, great. Can you give me a brief synopsis describing your recent job experiences?
So right now, my current position is working with K through 12 students as a contract educator, where I lead field trips around Olympia and work with students to talk about marine biodiversity and our estuaries and learn a little bit more about that and dig in. And then my previous position that I held at the North Coast Environmental Center in Arcata, California, was their coastal programs coordinator, and I had that for about 5 years almost. The biggest part of my job as coastal cleanup coordinator was running California Coastal Cleanup Day for Humboldt and Del Norte counties. So if you don't know, California Coastal Cleanup Day is part of an international cleanup event where it's the largest volunteering event in the world. And I got to run it for our 2 counties. And the biggest part of that was coordinating volunteers, making sure we had people coming out to our events. We ended up usually getting about 1,000 volunteers every year, just for our 2 counties. It ranged from creating PSAs, advertising, articles, interviews, and working with the county and municipalities to get dumpsters and make sure we were doing our trash removals correctly. When I wasn't doing that, I was running our Adopt a Beach and Adopt a Block programs, as well as doing general fundraising and outreach for the organization.
Great. What type of software skills have you used on the job or school training that would be beneficial to an employer?
So I've used Microsoft Excel and Word pretty much my entire life. I would describe my abilities as high intermediate. I've used them throughout classes and throughout daily life, and pretty sufficient in that. Some other things that I've taken in school are grant writing courses, and used those in real life through my previous organization. We would be applying for grants, and I also have experience doing ArcMap. We've taken 3 semesters worth of courses in ArcMap and ArcMap Pro, so I'm very comfortable making maps. As well as I am self-taught in Adobe Illustrator, InDesign, and Photoshop, so I have basic skills in that. We used to use them for creating just graphics in-house at the North Coast Environmental Center.
What attributes do you feel would be an asset to an employer, and why should an employer hire you over other job seekers?
Like I said earlier, I'm a people person, so I really strongly believe in making connections and using those connections to help organizations succeed. And so I'm a team player. I work well with anybody. I'm an asset to definitely any organization that I work with.
All right, terrific. Well, thank you so much for your time this morning, Madison.
Thank you.